podcast, and we are back again. It's been a while since we've done one of these because there's been so much fucking TV that we've been talking about, but we are back with a lovely little movie review. Yes, we are here to talk all things Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. And joining me on this impossible mission, he is the Iceman, baby Boone, Joseph Boone.
Coming in loud and clear, Andrew, here to help you decipher any tricks, puzzles, and be your man in the chair.
He is the smackiest of smacks. He will smack your bitch up. He is Polly Smack Paul Stirrett.
What, Polly Smack here, and I am ready to turn this whole Mission Impossible review into Mission Very Possible.
God, I don't know what that means. And he is the triple barrel man. He is the fearless leader. He is Craig Andrew Mooney.
Hello, Andrew. I'm here to stick the landing on that fucking plane. There we go.
Ooh. Now, if you are not aware, we have done a Mission Impossible ranking podcast. It is one of our fastest viewed, highest grossing, whatever you want to put it. It's doing really well on YouTube, so thank you very much for all the people that have watched it. But if you haven't watched it, go check it out before you listen and watch this one, because it is very good stuff. Shout out to Lara and to Joseph Boone for our wonderful editing team putting that together. Absolutely smashing it out the park. Thanks very much, mate.
Trying my best, but you know it's mostly Lara that's doing it. It's mostly Proper. She's
the talent.
A savant at it. It's brilliant.
Absolute talent. But yes, go check that out if you haven't already. Also, we have finished The Last of Us. Our Last of Us review is up there as well. Doesn't seem to be doing too well in terms of viewing figures, but I like it. But go check out what we've got to see.
Just reflects the show.
Yeah, I would agree.
God. But yes, there is plenty to do and see up there on the podcast. So if you haven't already, we are slowly growing, but we are growing. Hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 50 subscribers. That's a nice wee goal. We only need 20 more people.
Yeah.
So if you're sat there on your arse and you've gone, I've not subscribed to these guys, fucking do it. Right? Thanks very much. Aye, so enough of that rabble. We are here to talk about Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. If you have not listened or watched the podcast before, here's how it goes. We will give our top thoughts, non-spoiler reviews, just general ideas of what we thought of the film. Then we will give you a big old spoiler warning so you can head to the cinema and watch the movie and then come on back and hear what we have to say about this. Now, Paul, I'm going to start with you, mate, because you weren't on the ranking podcast. We still read your list. It was dreadful.
Thank you.
Shock to nobody. Go check that out and you'll find out what I mean. But
Piss take, that's what it was.
It was a piss take. General thoughts.
I was being
what
serious.
Did you think? No, I know, but that's why it's a piss take, because it's just smelly taste. I'm going to need to come up with a song for you as well now. But yeah, Paul, what did you think of The Final Reckoning? If this is the final Mission Impossible movie, do you think it was a good one to go out on?
Goodness me, please, just let things have an ending, please. Not because I thought this was a particularly bad film or anything. I just, please let things just have an ending. That's my thoughts there. But overall,
Fair.
I kind of liked it. There was two big standout moments for me. To be honest, though, I feel like the standout moments are what really stick in my mind, and there was a lot of sort of very quick-paced filler in between. But overall, it was a pretty enjoyable movie.
Fair enough. Let's come to Craig next. Craig, what did you think?
Well, as those who listen to the ranked episode know, I actually ranked the spiritual first part to this film as the highest on my list for the Mission Impossible franchise. Since then, I have backtracked, as I always do, but I still, but still, I really did enjoy. I think the most of all of us, I enjoyed Dead Reckoning the best. So I was going into this one with an open mind. I was quite happy, quite excited to see it. I knew that Tremel Tillman was going to be in it, so I was even more excited. And one thing I will say, I brought my partner along to this one, who had never seen any of the other Mission Impossible films. I asked her multiple times, are you sure you want to come with me? And she did, and she quite enjoyed it, I think. But it was fascinating to watch someone who's never seen any other Mission Impossible film just watch this and go, yeah, that was interesting. Kind of proves that maybe you didn't need to really see any of the other ones and what that maybe was like, but who knows, might be something there. But in terms of Final Reckoning, I thoroughly enjoyed it. from a spectacle standpoint. I thought, plot-wise, maybe like the previous film, it was a bit light, bit thin. But in terms of spectacle, in terms of scope, the stunts, what a wild ride it was. Load of fun. Good fun in the cinema. Great to go see in IMAX. Highly recommend going to see it.
Nice. Joseph?
It just kind of proves my theory on how the later Mission Impossible films were retrofitted around the stunts that Tom Cruise wanted to do. And, it's not a bad thing. I just think it did a really good job of cleaning up the mess that Dead Reckoning was.
Man. So
it did a really good job. You know what? I would say it was a good film. It was a good experience, and I think it was. Your heartstrings were already pulled on at the start before the film when you get a lovely little message from Mr. Smiler himself, Tom Cruise, when he thanks you for coming along. So good film, good experience, but the problems were still pretty glaring throughout.
Yeah.
Fair. This is a tale of two movies for me. My review is up on Letterboxd on behalf of the With Mates podcast. I also done one for
Nice.
Would you call it Final Destination? It just says one word. I won't tell you what the word is, but go see it.
Is it shite? Is it stinky?
Close.
Bollocks. Boggin.
Jobby.
Begins with a P.
Pish.
Well done.
Paul,
That's it.
yes.
That's one pish.
Paul is the word.
Yeah, Paul. So yeah, my review on Letterboxd was it's a tale of two movies. The first hour of this movie is fucking dreadful. It is one of the worst hours of movie going I have had in a very, very long time. Second hour of this movie is one of the fucking best experiences I've ever had in a cinema watching an action movie. It is so polar opposite from how I felt watching yes, Joseph.
What about the third hour of the film?
Yeah, I was just going to say.
The next 2 hours, sorry. Not the second hour, the next 2 hours. Yes, I
The third hour of the film was just right.
I listened to a podcast and my thought was, there is a good like 1 hour 45, 2 hour movie in this movie. And then someone put up a really good point. There is a phenomenal 3 hour movie in Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning if you edited that together. Do you know what I mean? So
you need about 5 minutes of the first one, and then you just get like a montage of them saying key for about a minute, and then
no more montages about keys. No more
Vanessa Kirby's face once, and then just so you can remember where was that character.
But for me, I would recommend, I thoroughly recommend people go see this. See it on the biggest screen possible. If you're half an hour late, 40 minutes late, won't be a big deal because
don't worry about it.
I am not joking. There's been a couple of occasions where I've misjudged it. So in our cinema I go to, there's like 20 minutes to half an hour worth of trailers and all that shit. So I'm like, all right, so if it's 7, it'll start at 7:30. But then I get mixed up and it actually started at 6:30 for 7. So then I miss half an hour of film. It's only happened a couple of times. But regardless, if you're 40 minutes late for this film, it won't be a big deal because you won't miss fuck all. Like, nothing happens in the and even the things that do happen don't really fucking matter. But to me, I won't give my score, but the first half of this movie is like a 4 out of 10. Second half of this movie is so fucking good. So there's a nice wee balanced score that I'll give you at the end of the podcast. Stay tuned to hear what the score is. Right, that's it. You know what we thought. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty details. So this is your spoiler warning. If you have not yet watched Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, head on over to Cineworld because I'm determined that they are going to sponsor this show. Go to Cineworld and watch this movie so we can get unlimited cards for free. And then come on back and hear what we four gents have to say about the movie. Right, I want to split this review into 3 parts because Paul's already mentioned there's 2 big standouts, and again we can talk about the things around those 2 big standouts, but let's talk about the bad stuff beginning. The start, it was fucking awful, man. Like, I was thoroughly dreading that it was going to be num bum territory, and then obviously it picked up.
Did you not enjoy the little butcher shop scene? where like heinous, violent things are happening just off screen. We're watching it from Haley Atwell's perspective.
Haley Atwell,
she's just
we will get
grimacing.
Mate, honestly, do you know the thing that annoyed me more about that than the fact that we didn't get to see what was happening? That scene's in Rogue Nation, and Rogue Nation for us was one of the best, if not the best, Mission Impossible films. They already did that scene, and they did it so much fucking better. And then they repeat the feat, and I'm like, this is shit. And not only that, in this first hour and in this scene, the comedy was so bad. See what, you didn't think I was going to let anything happen to you? Come on, let's go. And then he goes off. And then he
comes back on.
And then it was so bad.
That kind of felt like old school Cruise. Like,
No.
but like, so this entire film is a love letter to Tom Cruise's career. And that's okay. It's not going to be the best thing, but that's completely okay. The opening bit where like he's getting his little videotape and he's listening
Boring.
to it, that, yeah, you might have found that boring, but that kind of felt like, you know, in certain areas of YouTube you get like super cuts of like emotional moments from shows, you know, like times that the Doctor has cried, and it's like a lovely little music. It felt like it was edited like that. I think that opening scene is going to be really nice for a little bit of nostalgia bait a couple of years down the line, when they've released the next Mission Impossible film.
But that was going to be my point.
Another one.
But that was going to be my point, because they're definitely going to do another one. And then what was that for?
Yeah. So a lot of the
Are
first
they?
hour is it's all. Oh no, definitely. Do you remember the ending, Craig, of the film? Do you remember the ending?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't, because that film didn't have an end. It just stopped. There was no definitive end to this film. There was no, that's it, the book is now closed. It's we might pick it up again.
No, I didn't interpret it that way. But anyway, we'll come to the ending.
We'll come to the end a wee bit later. But yeah, the start for
Yeah.
me, right? So I don't want to, I don't want to like lull on this too much, right? I don't want to stay in the bad. Like, I want to talk about the good. The comedy didn't work. The whole scene where they had to rescue Pom, Mantis character, was unnecessary, and again, not funny. There was a point where it felt like Family Guy, where they went from one character to the other, and it was just eyebrow acting, where he's like, and I'm like, this is not funny, move on. Randomly, the cops just joined his team. No explanation as to why. Just
Yeah,
did.
it was.
He was a
There
cool
was
dude.
there was in the first one. He was sympathetic to the.
That's not enough to join
If you-
fucking.
If you missed that line of
If
dialogue
James
in
Bond
Dead
picked
Reckoning,
up
then
people like that. No, it was terrible. It was absolutely nonsense.
I will say, for the start of as the film kicked off and it gave you your whole expository blurb to start with, because a lot of the dialogue was still expository after that. It did a really good job of going like, so this is what we meant with the first film. I know I'm being a bit facetious here, but genuinely it was like, this is what we tried to do. Don't worry, you don't need to go back and watch it if you haven't watched it already, and we're also kind of sorry for that. And it told you essentially what the plan was, what the bad guy, the most fucking two-dimensional Saturday morning fucking bad guy in Mission Impossible wanted to do. And you're like, okay, I understand the premise now. AI bad. Where have I heard that one before?
AI is bad.
Recently.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's a good message.
It's a good message, but it just ultimately didn't really have all of the danger and all of the suspense in this film, and which is one of my big problems with the film, is created by the situations that Ethan Hunt finds himself in that are not directly imposed upon him. He just happens to be there and there's danger. He just happens to go to a dangerous place.
Do you not
there
find...
are points. On you go, Paul. Sorry.
I was just, do you not find that in this first, particularly in the first hour, that they just jump from one place to another like nothing. It just like bang, bang, bang. They're in somewhere for like 2 minutes, and then suddenly bang, we're in London, then bang, we're in like Austria,
my
and then somewhere else.
My favourite thing My favourite thing was I went and seen this with my mate Gary, and he leaned over to me at one point and he went, "How do they always get cars?" And I went, "Gary, that's not. Let's not even fucking bother asking that question, big man." He's got a point, but I'm
They
like,
call the Fast and Furious.
That's the least of our fucking problems. Yeah. So for me, like, oh, sorry, Craig, on you go.
No, I was going to say, Gary, if you're listening, they actually show you in Dead Reckoning as well how they get cars.
Yeah, but
I
that
remember.
counts on
The
people
Dead
having watched
Reckoning
Dead
apologist.
Yeah, I know. Changed his mind on it earlier as well. Yeah, so to me, like, I don't. There was a lot of unnecessary stuff, and again, there's stuff that I was like, yeah, that's unnecessary, but it didn't bother me. The one thing that really, really bothered me the entire movie, and it did kind of stop after we kind of got to the submarine bit, was Tom Cruise's monologues every time where he's like, "Oh, you can't do that because the entity knows that you were going to do that, and what you need to do is do what you weren't going to do because the entity doesn't know that you weren't going to not do that." I was just, shut the fuck up. It's so bad. It is the worst villain. I don't need AI. Like, look, all the missiles are going to go off. Cool. That's all I need. Like, we'll get to how good the tension was, but like that whole, "Oh, you can't do that because the entity knows you're going to do that, and if you're going to do that, the entity will know. So you need to do what you weren't going to do, but not what you were going to do, and you had to do so." I was like, shh, shh, shh.
For me,
like that, and it happened like 4 times.
For me, what annoyed me more was in this gritty, action film, which, Ethan Hunt, good character, good action hero, but they kept talking about like destiny, and they even said chosen one at one point. I was like,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake,
Like a whole god
Please.
complex in this movie.
Like there were so many cool sequences in that start bit, especially with the whole Luther underground bunker detached from the web. I liked that. The whole sleep deprivation box where he spoke to the entity. Cool. In premise, but it just didn't land. It just didn't land well.
I mean, we were like one
chosen
line away.
Rhetoric.
I know.
Yeah, the chosen. It was a little. The thing that really annoyed me is, like, remember that thing they set up in the first Reckoning, the Reckoning Part 1, dead. We're flogging a dead horse reckoning. The whole, he had a choice, either go away or become an MI agent. Remember that thing we were supposed to expand upon in this film and understand more about? Did we get that?
We didn't need any more time, man. Like, this is already 3 hours fucking long.
Didn't need to be. We did like just give. It's all about the stunts, and that's cool. Great film for that, but just any semblance of like cohesiveness.
So I'm gonna.
just went out the window.
Did you like
I'm gonna put it
the
out.
retro? Did you like the retrofitting of Mission Impossible 3's
No.
canister to be
Load of
the AI?
bollocks. Load of fucking bollocks.
Do you
This
know what
was
I loved
definitely a
about it though, right?
disease, but
Yeah, do you know what I really liked about it though? It was like, remember in Mission Impossible 3 where they were like, "Oh, we don't actually know what this is," and they've just went, "That's her in. They don't know what it is. It was the entity the entire time." You're like, "No, it wasn't. It was fucking 1996, brother. We had AOL.com. That was not going to happen. What are we talking about?"
How the fuck was going to work?
Yeah.
What, it runs on dial-up. Like,
Aye, exactly.
there's no fucking way that AI's taken over the world if it came through that time.
Proper MSN fucking emoji name and all that stuff. The entity, kiss, 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 love, love, love.
The entity takes over Bebo and everyone's like, so?
But it's just got that one video at the beginning that just keeps playing over and over and over again.
Makes a load of quizzes for everybody
Yeah,
to do.
exactly.
All that.
What Cartoon Network character are you? So what I want to put out there, because again, like, I want to get to the good stuff, because I did thoroughly actually enjoy this movie, and I will say, if you're going to do a movie of 2 halves, let the beginning be shite and let the end be good. That's the correct way to do it, because if the ending was shite and the beginning was good, you just feel let down. Is there anything from like the first hour of this movie that you felt was good, or what, like, that I'm being too harsh on stuff? To me, there wasn't really. I like the stuff with the one thing I will say, like, the God complex thing is really funny, right? But I do like the whole. I love it, and like, see that moment where it's like, oh my god, that's Jason Bourne. That kind of we're in here. When they were listing all the stuff that he did, I was like, yeah, fucking Tom Cruise is cool as fuck, man. Like all those movies, all those things he did was really cool. But it then obviously led to the point where it's like there's only one person that can do this, and his name is Tom Cruise. And it took it so serious and stuff like that. But other than that, I like Angela Bassett, the president as well.
All those scenes were fantastic with
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
and the war cancer, and like Nick Offerman as
Nick
well.
Offerman!
Always great to see. I one of my favorite bits of the film is just one of his lines where he's like, "I need your sidearm, son." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, I didn't give you a reason why. I just geese your fucking gun, mate.
I also called what he was going to do. I was like, he's not. We think he's going to shoot the president, but he's not going to shoot the president.
Also, a bit of Mark Gatiss. I was happy to see Mark Gatiss, although I thought he would have gotten more. But good old Mark Gatiss.
Too busy
Mark
being a
Gatiss.
fantastic Mark Gatiss.
Gatiss.
Who's Mark Gatiss?
He's
Gatiss,
the
Gatiss.
TV man on Fantastic Four: First Steps. He's the one that's
Oh
like,
yeah. Moriarty, or no, Sherlock's brother.
Yes.
Yes,
Mycroft. Thank you very much. Yeah, Craig, anything redeemable first hour? Were you kind of similar boat to me, or?
Yeah, no, I thought it did drag on that first hour. It wasn't the most interesting, I would say. I think it was a hell of a lot of build up that didn't really need to be there for what we were like. We're waiting for this dance, aren't we? We're waiting for him to go and do the fucking big spectacle stuff. So I think as well, just referring back to the fact that I was with someone who had never seen any other Mission Impossible film, they didn't fucking need to, because there was a massive amount of exposition at that start of that film, which I did not appreciate at all.
Do you think
it
we
was so
made
much. It
worse,
went on for
though,
so
because
long.
do you think it made it worse though because we've just watched all the movies and we're like,
We've just
"We know
watched it,
all
yeah.
this. We've just spent the
Yeah.
best part of a week and a half watching all this shit."
But I did like some of the callbacks. I liked. I know we've bagged on the scene a wee bit with, wouldn't let anything happen to you. But I quite enjoyed the callback to him being, because it was like a mirror of him and when he met Rebecca Ferguson. The interrogation
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
When he was tied up and stuff, and it was a, I liked all the homages that kind of happened in that first. There was obviously more to come later on, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
far
It was
too
kinda
long.
like-
Could have cut down, but yeah.
It reminded me like when you're reading through the Harry Potter series and you remember like the really good Quidditch games where like the team was on point, and then as the series gets on and on, obviously like people leave school and they have to get new members and the team isn't quite as good and they kind of lose more games than they've won in the past, and the team just kind of goes downhill slightly. They're still good, but it reminded me like things don't last, and things don't last well.
Are you talking about Man United, Joseph?
I knew you were going to fucking say that.
Ooh.
I'm gonna quote. Was it Thor? No, it's Loki. I'm gonna quote Loki. The sun will rise on us again one day, brother. And I'm talking to Man United fans. The sun will fucking rise on Man United again.
But
Yeah.
don't worry, man. You can wait for a while.
Oh, I will, and I will be there, and I will be there with fucking bells on. Yeah, to me, there were like, because again, there was some stuff. I get what Joseph's saying. Look, I really like Hayley Atwell. There was a severe lack of Rebecca Ferguson in this. Like, she is so good in these movies and so believable, and like like I'm skipping a big bit. The whole plot of this is dependent on Hayley Atwell's magic hands, like how quick she is. Like, I was just like, okay, cool, fine. Fine, that's fine.
You didn't like that? You know how she
What makes a great
pickpocketed
thief,
at
Andrew?
the start of the
What
movie?
makes a great thief?
Stupid.
You didn't
And then
like
the
that?
other
She
thing-
pickpocketed at the start of the movie, and then
No,
it
it's
has
terrible.
to be light speed. The way this travels
Terrible.
across.
Well, I mean,
into a
it
USB.
fits. It fits with the genre. It fits with the film franchise, because you remember in the first one where the bad guy, what's his face, the French dude, was like, "I've got the floppy disk," and Tom Cruise does a magic trick, and he's like, "Oh fuck, that's the real floppy disk," and chucks it in the bin, and doesn't even check if it's the real fucking floppy disk or not. He's bamboozled by,
Baffled.
like, genuinely. I bet that Tom Cruise could have gone up to any villain in the franchise and just go, "Look, I can detach my thumb." Whoa! And they're like, "Fuck! What am I meant to do now?"
Never mind the nukes. How did you do that?
Where's your thumb?
Can you imagine, like, fucking Bull Henry Cavill? He's like got his face burned off. He's like, "But the thumb, Ethan, how'd you do that with your fucking?"
That's what I was going to say. Henry Cavill's like reloading his arms, and Tom Cruise like, ba-da-da-da. But yes, magic was a very big part in this whole Mission Impossible film.
stupid
Quickly to
plot
talk about the Bing Rain stuff. Bing Rain stuff didn't hit. I was just like, I don't really care. Like, it could have been such a better ending. And there was a big bit, like the whole emotional bit where he's like, oh, I need to save London. Why? You've been able to do it every other time. Why is this? Why is this time any fucking different? Why can't you just shut it down?
I liked his bit at the end though. His message that was
Yeah,
that
the
was
monologue was
emotional.
cool. Yeah, that
I'm
was
always
cool.
a big fan of like Agent Cobra bubbles in anything.
I think the last negative thing I'm going to say before I start praising this movie. This franchise has now flirted enough with becoming as ridiculous as the Fast and Furious movies
For sure.
that when they try to do these poignant moments, I'm like, nah. Go back to the fucking, like, driving out of a building shit. Let's not do this kind of stuff. Right, let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the submarine. Let's get to Craig's favourite character. What's his name again?
His name is Tramel Tillman, Andrew, and you get his name right.
The other,
All right.
his character name.
Seth Milchick in Severance.
Milchick, Mr. Milchick, yes.
I've got
So-
Thank you.
one point to say about him because in Severance, like he's in very good shape, that man, and Tramel Tillman do be carrying around some cake. We've all seen it. There was a point where me and Lara were sitting after, like watching that film, and she turns to me and she goes, "Thank goodness he faced the camera pretty much in every scene because." That cake would have taken up the whole screen. Great, fantastic scenes. Man.
He also had the best line in it when Tom Cruise arrives in the submarine and he's just like, "You must be out of your goddamn mind." Yeah, that's what we need. Before we get to the submarine, though, again, I want to talk about a little negativity. Right? I love. Is it Heather Fotheringham? No,
Graham.
Absolutely. But
Blackclear. Heather.
No, she's in this film. You clown.
Yeah, Heather
Hannah
Graham.
Waddingham.
Hannah
Waddingham.
Absolutely fucking
Yeah.
Heather Fotheringham.
It's really weird not seeing her trying to sabotage a football team. You know,
Or shaming someone as they walk naked.
Also, the American accent as
Shame.
well. That took me by surprise
Oh,
as well,
yeah.
actually.
Let me tell you this. Fucking great American accent, right?
Oh,
she's
stunning.
wonderful. I love her. Give us more of her. Why was she in this film?
because there was a secret note that had to be passed so she could lend someone an aircraft carrier so he could get to
a
above a
date.
submarine and
Why can't you
it was
just go to
There
the
was a
submarine?
date.
Just go to the submarine. There's no need
because
for this.
the AI is everywhere, Andy.
Nah,
the
no
AI
need
is
for
everywhere,
this.
and it's gonna know,
And everything's
and it will know.
analog.
Now, what I will
Gotta
say
get back
before we
on
start
the
praising all
log.
the good stuff, I realise before we go into this how dumb most of this shit is, and we'll get into some of the fun dumb stuff as well. But as long as you go in with the intention that before this all happens, Tom Cruise is there like, so what your team need to get these coordinates and you need to be in the right place at the right time and make sure that you are able to do all this magic fucking pish, blah blah blah. And it turns to Tom Cruise character and he goes, "Yep."
Yep.
Like that's literally what it is. And I'm going, cool, I'm in, I'm on,
Yeah.
I'm on for the ride. That's fine. Now let's get to praising. So, obviously the fun stuff starts with Hannah's character, Admiral Neely,
Admiral Neely.
reads the wee note and she says, "We lost somebody close to us. I don't know if it's our daughter or somebody. We lost someone close to us, so because we didn't take a chance, I'm going to take a chance on you." And then they fly. This is where the movie kicks in because the tension from this point forward, untouchable. I can't remember feeling so tense in a movie, and they up it and up it and up it and up it, and it just keeps rising. It's so well done. So he jumps into the sea, and
I just want to say, just at that moment, as someone who has just recently spent an elongated time at sea,
Were you
Seeing
on
someone-
a cruise, Paul?
I was on a cruise surrounded by seamen.
I've got a
Where
boat.
did you go, Paul?
But as seeing someone jump out of a plane just like that, and then watching the planes fly away as he jumps into the ocean, and he's got like nowhere really to go. Maybe the ship, but you know he's got to swim there. That was like holy! It sent a little shiver down my spine. I won't lie. I was like, ooh.
biggest fear in my life
Yeah.
I have whatever that phobia is. See, whenever you watch, I don't know if you've seen any of the reels where it's
Thalassophobia.
just, yeah. See if you see any of the reels where it's the yo, and it just shows you how fucking expansive and derelict the ocean is, and I'm just like, never.
Don't play Subnautica, man. Don't play Subnautica.
Mate,
it's not for you.
I've been asked to audition to do cruise ship work, and I'm like, I physically can't do it. Like, I would love to see different parts of the world. I'd love the experience. I can't physically do it because I'm scared of the ocean. And again, Tom Cruise, absolute maniac, or the character anyway, a maniac, because he just jumps in the sea going.
No, I think they're both
that
maniacs,
boat's there.
mate.
Oh yeah, they're both maniacs. But
Yeah.
Him
Ethan
jumping at the-
Hunt, just being like, I'm gonna jump out. I'm just gonna jump out this plane. Hopefully the submarine.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah, hopefully it's there.
the-
Yeah.
I think the pilot was what's her face from American Skins. I cannot remember the character.
American Skins.
Yeah, or is it Shameless? I can't remember. One of those the American versions of it. I can't remember.
Oh, the American Shameless, like the main character.
Yes.
Cassie. I forget her
Yes,
name, but yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't pick up on that at all.
So when he jumped out of that plane, that started the first in about, I think it was like 27 or 28 times that I muttered to myself in the cinema, Ethan Hunt is a fucking nightmare. And he hits the water, obviously, and it's got one of the best transitions, or best like shots in the film, where like he gets hit by the wave, he goes under, comes up, and there's the fucking like the seals, the Navy SEALs around him. I was like, oh mate, that was such a great transition.
That was
to
a good
like
one.
introduce those characters there.
But this is why it's great, because again, ignore the dumb stuff and you go, that's cool as fuck. Like, that's so fucking cool. They obviously get him on the boat, and he comes in and he's like, look, when you get a code, the code only is there for 15 minutes every 2 hours, or every 2 hours for 15 minutes, whatever the fuck it was. So convoluted, but again, I'm like, oh, fuck, man, you've got me. I'm so in here. What I will say, I am devastated that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania absolutely ruined the chances of getting more Katie O'Brien, because I adore her.
Like
She's
every
so good.
every scene she was in, she was just like, oh, let me just lean against this thing just a little bit. I'm just gonna have to
so-
stretch over there, and just there's a fucking vein popping on her bicep.
I
Like, God damn.
hope this is the beginning of her getting more and more stuff, because again, like, I can see it if they do, which it sounds like they are going to do, Top Gun Maverick 2, or the sequel to Top Gun Maverick. I'm hoping she'll be more involved in that. I'm hoping, like, again, she would be perfect for the Marvel universe, but they've kind of already used her. But they've done that before, so I'd like to see her kind of maybe
They've already
DC.
used her
Who
in
knows?
Star
Use a
Wars.
actor.
They have used her in Star Wars, yes. But yeah, like, we get the discussion of what they want to do, and right. So this is my main problem with it, but I didn't really care about this. There's a whole kind of speech where it's like, even if we get the codes, if you go down to this submarine that's 500 meters deep, like, your lungs will explode, the pressure will will kill you, your eyeballs will pop out. It's going to be so bad. We're going to give you a kit that we've not even tested, so we don't know if that works. But we're going to give you it, and you can chance it. And he's just like, yeah, that's fine, cool. I'm going to go. There's a brutal sequence on where he's jogging on a treadmill, and the guy comes in and fights him. That was fun.
Because that was that intercut with the fight on the island as well.
I think so.
Was that happening at the
A
same
little
time?
bit, yeah.
Yeah, because I think one of my favorite parts of this film happened when Benji and fucking what's her fit Grace.
Haley Atwell. Grace.
Yeah, fuck's sake. They go to that island and they find the man. They find the man from the vault from the first film.
I loved that.
That's great.
I love that.
That's
That was
fun.
like
That was cool.
that was one of the 3 callbacks in the film that was
That
earned, that
Yeah.
landed,
Yeah.
and just added to it. The rabbit's foot. Fuck off. The guy who's the son of the dude and who was murdered by the helicopter in the first one. We didn't need that. If we did need that, you should have set it up in the first one, where actually something interesting could have happened in Dead Reckoning. Like that point where you introduce this old character and you're like, oh no, he's going to be so pissed at them because they've ruined his life. And he's like, nah, mate, I've had a great time these past 30 years on an island with my wife doing data. I loved it. And it was so sweet, and it was such a nice bit of closure to not essentially like a loose plot thread, but like something that we heard at the end of the first film, that send him off to somewhere that we'll never see him again. But we do see him again, and he's important.
It's nice, isn't it?
And he doesn't die.
Yeah.
That scene gave the whole kind of so like the whole premise of the AI is like, oh, we're now seeing videos, which again we're starting to see in real life. We're now seeing fake videos and like fake things, and like we don't know what's real and all that kind of stuff. That moment was really well done in that, where the Russian guys kind of follow them in, and they're like, oh, look, let us get the code because we're going to destroy the entity and like trust us, and they were like, well, would you believe me if I was saying that? There was that wee moment I liked where it was like, oh, well, we don't trust you and you don't trust me, and it kind of played into the whole stuff with Angela Bassett, where it's like, oh, everybody's losing connection to their nukes, and of course America, they're last because they're the fucking greatest country in the world.
My favourite bit where they were sort of toying with reality and whatnot was when he got out of the little chamber, the AI sleeping chamber thing.
Yeah.
And he comes out, he's like, is this real? Is this real? He's like holding their face, like, is this real?
I think that scene was lifted from an unused Star Trek episode, like a Shatner era one. I think if you had Shatner saying that dialogue, perfect.
I do that every time I take a VR headset off.
Real. Is this real? It's the only way Andrew can sleep now is with a VR headset.
I take it off and I look down and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not actually Batman. That's shit. I want to go back. But yeah, like in terms of the action sequence, there's not a lot of like fist fighty kind of stuff. There was obviously the one that we watched Hayley Atwell watch. That was fun. But we did get the scene, as I was saying, with the treadmill stuff. Like, Craig, did you like that kind of stuff? Did you like, or did you feel as if that it wasn't needed so much in this? It was more about the big stunts.
So, as in are you meaning the stuff with Hayley Atwell, or are you meaning the stuff inside the submarine?
The stuff inside the submarine with the soldier that's obviously for whatever reason friends with the AI. Attacks Tom Cruise while he's exercising. Like it was.
I didn't mind. I didn't mind it as a part of the film, because I think they kind of set it up. I mean, they set it up reasonably well enough to show that there's people out there who want the AI to win, and it also is kind of a callback as well to the Henry Cavill character, like these villains who wanted to kind of set this new kind of world order in place, and that's what his whole arc was in Fallout. So I didn't mind that at all. I thought it worked for the film, and yeah, I mean, any excuse to see a decently done fight scene, and that it certainly was that. And just watching, I think that this was the first of many times in the film from this point onwards where I said, Tom Cruise is the same age as Ian McKellen, man. When he did the first Lord of the Rings film,
crazy.
He's fucking he's 60 or he's early 60s, man. He's doing this shit. So yeah, I liked it as I think it was important for the film to have it into.
It's good that you should mention that, because like Hayley Atwell did say that the fight scene she watched looked really good. And it's good to see that the rest of the fight scenes in the film looked good as well.
Yeah, why? Anyway,
I was just going to ask.
Move on.
Do we think they set up the whole like AI cult people that well? Because there was times where I felt like they were a bit random. Like, see the guy that tries to shoot the president. I think there's people that'll be like, huh?
I don't think that was about AI though. I think that was more about.
No, that is totally
hit the button.
That's
was it not more about hit the button?
No, because he was like, look at
because AI.
They were. See, that's why it's unclear. That's what I'm saying. If it was clear, we would know.
Fair.
Yeah. Again, to me, it's that like this is what I'm saying. Like Gary asking me how they get the cars, and I'm just like, enjoy the ride, mate. Just fucking watch what we're getting. This isn't why we're here for Mission Impossible. The reason we are here for Mission Impossible is honestly one of the most fucking dread-filling scenes I think I have ever watched. The moment he's in he's all suited up in the thing that they have extensively told us that has not been tested, and we won't know if it'll even work. And it opens the door, and you just see this enormous submarine in the middle of the darkest ocean, and I was like, oh, the dread. Oh, the fucking dread, man. It was so cool, but my God, did my chest want to collapse in on itself.
this whole sequence, actually both of the big action sequences in this film, what I think did incredibly well was using silence, and there was no dramatic music underneath it. There was no big overproduced sound effects. There was no stupid effort sounds from the actors. It was just like Ethan Hunt going, "This is another fine mess I've found myself in." And the point where he's like in the big the payload storage where the missile, like the fucking torpedoes roll off. We know there is explosives, and he's kind of bobbing near one, and you just see on his face where he's like, for fuck's sake. It was like almost like Indiana Jones, why does it have to be snakes? It's like Ethan Hunt's like, why has it got to be nuclear missiles that if I so much as fart near it, I'm going to like be reduced to vapor? That whole sequence in the submarine was arse-squeakingly tense.
Yeah.
And when he goes into the torpedo tube, I don't do well
Oh,
in small
no.
spaces.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No.
Fuck that.
In the ocean, small spaces.
That was the bit that got me.
Spaces in the ocean, and
he has
goes
to
like, I
cut
can't
off
fit in.
the suit.
He has to cut off
Like,
his
he's-
fucking suit, and it's like,
and he's
they're like,
freezing.
if you don't wear that suit, you're going to die.
Like he's
We'll get to
freezing
that.
as
We'll
well.
get- I have
like, he's
specific
shivering.
thoughts about that. I have specific thoughts about that. So before we get to that, though, what I want to talk about is the editing, because it happens. We've got two very different sequences, but at the time, right? So while he's underwater and blah blah blah, back in Snowman Land there was like fire and all that, and then the dogs had to take Haley Atwell and the woman from the Simpsons movie to the coordinates and stuff. Oh, in fact, let me
I like
make
the
one thing
dogs.
clear. No, the dogs were cool.
Yeah.
Another really dumb moment where I just went,
Or was it the teaching
sake.
Haley Atwell how to do the sled?
nah, that was fine. I don't care about that.
No, it was fucking stupid.
No, it's again, this is what I'm saying. It's like everybody's really smart, everyone's really clever, but America, we are the smart. He goes to Milchek and he's like, right, we need to get the coordinates. And he gives him coordinates, and he's like, you're on the wrong bit, mate. Other side of the world, complete opposite side of where we are. And then Tom Cruise is like, oh my god. It's where we, and I'm like, yeah, because the Russia wouldn't fucking figure that out. Russia wouldn't be like, oh fuck, off to Brazil. No, like, it was so dumb. I literally in the cinema, I was just like, Jesus God, Americans think everybody is stupid.
That scene did give you a great line with Milchek going, well, if you want to poke the bear, you've come to the right place. I'm like,
Yeah, he's some banger lines, man.
He's just enjoying
he's
everything. Like,
He's so good.
I guarantee you, he'll be in the new Top Gun movie. I guarantee you, he'll be in the new Top
gonna
Gun
be
movie.
He'd make a
soon.
he'd make a he's gonna
just,
be
he's
blown
just got
up.
that aura about
He's
him.
blown up.
But yeah, to get back to the submarine, the as you said, Joseph, like the tension that they did. I love the fact that obviously the submarine was like rolling off to fall even deeper, so his suit might not have worked then. But I loved, again, to go back to the stunts, that they obviously did it, like the stuff where he was like crawling through and the water's going from under him to
They
round him to
clearly
above
made
him and all that stuff.
That,
Oh,
that
that
must
was a
have been
brilliant
real.
shot.
That cannot have been CGI.
Yeah.
With the way the water moved and the way that the camera stayed static on him, and the rest of the room revolved around it. Genuinely,
Very Inception, but
yeah,
with
very
water.
very Inception with water. But I think it's just the fantastic cinematography around all of the stunts and the attention to detail and the care and just the management of all that is something that the Mission Impossible series does better and better and better and better every time. And I'm sitting there in between muttering, saying, you know, Tom Cruise is a fucking nightmare. I'm thinking like, you're going to die in one of these films, and then you're going to keep filming. Your ghost is going to raise out of your body and continue filming. Like, I don't think Tom Cruise can die.
I genuinely believe he thinks he
Did
can.
we get the shot? No,
It's
do
just
it
like-
again.
He's like, quick, defib me so we can get
Yeah,
the shot.
defib, yeah.
Like, Tom, your head's gone. No, just sew it back on. Fucking
Fix it
hurry.
in post. Fix it in post.
Fix it in post.
So here's the thing as well, where I was literally like, I was rolling my eyes as well. And again, at this point, I'm completely in. Like, the submarine thing, I was like, this is a great movie. No matter what happens from this on, it's a positive score for me. But when I'm sitting there going, we had a full 6-minute scene where they talked about all your organs failing and exploding and how this suit is like untested and whatnot. And he's like, take that off, that's coming off. I'll keep the wee waterproof thing that I got for the water park to keep my phone dry with a wee computer screen in it. That can stay around my neck. And then I'm just going to, mate, I was in a pool at 8 meters and nearly drowned. This motherfucker's swimming up 500 meters. He's swimming up 500. Like, it was beyond deluded. But I was in. I didn't care. I thought it was fucking great. Craig.
So I watched this film with a marine biologist who dives. So at that moment, I think probably the loudest cackle in the cinema was uttered when he took his suit off. That was it, because it was just so fucking ridiculous. Couldn't believe it. Like, it's an instant. That's you done. But of course, it's Tom Cruise. We're going into Fast and Furious logic, so he's a fucking superhero. The decompression chamber thing also was apparently fucking ridiculous. We had a big discussion about this afterwards.
There was like,
after
it was founded
that whole thing was a bit
proper stuff, but like it
airy-fairy stuff.
doesn't line
Yeah.
up.
I also, again... Sorry, on you go.
This whole sequence, as tense as it was, and you saw him, his like eyeballs trying to leave through his arse as he was like swimming up. The bit that I did not like was when lovely shot of him hitting the ice and the camera pans around. And you're like,
around.
this could be him. And then here comes Grace with the kiss of life. That should have been Julia. It should have been Julia.
Rebecca
and
Ferguson.
then he's been resuscitated by
Rebecca
somebody.
Ferguson as well. Yeah.
No,
Why do you hate
Haley stupidly,
Joseph?
If
What's
they
all this
hadn't killed
Haley
her
hate?
off- I like Haley Atwell. I think she's a fantastic.
I like
actor,
Haley
but
Atwell too.
But the character of Grace should not have graced our movie screens.
Nice.
Are you saying Haley Atwell would
There's
have
the
made
clip.
a better Lara Croft?
Oh, I think she would make a good Lara Croft, actually.
Sophie Turner is now playing Lara Croft.
Is she? Oh.
Yeah,
And we'll
and
just
she's in
let-
incredible shape. She's there was a photo that came out not too long ago. She's absolutely beast in the gym, man. So yeah, that could be fun. Yeah, so we get the James Bond-esque moment where Tom Cruise wakes up with the pretty lady, and as the
I think she was trying to shag him in that moment.
I was gonna say I was hoping for a part where he wakes up and he's just having this tender moment with Haley Atwell, and then he turns over for whatever reason and sees
And
the
there's Simon
Inuit lady. Like
the Inuit
that's
lady,
that's
I
what I
knew it
hoped
was
for.
at the window.
No, just like
fogging
right
up the
next to him.
window.
I was like,
still trying to teach Haley Atwell how to speak to the dogs. So yeah, remind me, how do we then get to the fucking next bit? Does he get a boat again, or he gets another car?
no, they get picked up. The planes
You
come
get picked
and
up.
find them.
Plane. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, at this point, obviously, the worst villain is reared his ugly. He's like, oh, everywhere I go, you will follow, and I'm like, mate, the whole world's about to get nuked. Your plan doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't matter if you're flying away. The entire planet is about to get fucking nuked.
You're in like a 1920s plane, like flying. How is that gonna last in a nuclear blast? I don't know.
Genuinely, like Gabriel could have spent the entire film with his pinky up against his mouth, and would have had the same impact. He's just come on. Paul liked that one. He's just a boring villain.
Yeah.
He's like, Tom Cruise, you foiled me once, and I will get you again, Inspector Gadget. And he's like, who the fuck are you?
Don't get me wrong, right? I don't think the
yeah.
writing for him is the best, but I don't think he's played. Like to me, I'm going, the writing in Mission Impossible 3 wasn't the best, but fucking Philip Seymour Hoffman was fucking great. Like you could like there's definitely calibers.
There's
there.
only so many ways you can turn a pig's ear into a purse. And I mean, like Sam Morales, he was doing the best with what he had.
Yeah,
and what he had was not much for a villain who is tertiary to the entire narrative.
What do we think of his untimely demise? Was that?
I thought it was a bit sudden. It was cool, but it was kind of like dead.
Just
You're
like, I'm gonna get away.
Fucking
no, he's not.
oh my god.
that whole
brutal as
sequence.
well.
we laughed. We like when his arm was snapped. We didn't realize his arm was snapped, and we just thought he was just going because he was on a.
I think that was because there was no close-up shot of his arm just breaking. So
Paul, do you know what there was a close-up shot of? Do you know what there was a close-up shot of constantly? Was the fucking drive around his neck. We constantly had a reminder of, he's got the drive.
Oh, do you mean MacGuffin 2? Not
MacGuffin 2,
MacGuffin 2, yeah, of course. Because how do we make things better? Two MacGuffins. We need two MacGuffins. We need fucking Bing Rames MacGuffin, and we need the fucking hard drive MacGuffin. So yeah, the editing again. Once again, I really enjoyed this stuff as much as it seems like I'm making fun of it. I was tense because at this point I'm still going, right, I don't know who's going to die here. So we're obviously at a point where Simon Pegg's character had been shot. The shootout stuff was fine. I didn't not care, but like obviously the new part of the team, so your man and his wife, and then the cop were on one side kind of doing the bomb, and I was like, yeah, I'm not really bothered. But when they disarmed it and we found out that they actually made it, I did go, oh yeah, cool. I'm quite glad they made it.
I liked his line of like, so I got to disarm this bomb, and then he's like, it's likely whoever disarms it's gonna die. And then the guy's like, well, there's no like bad guys around anymore, but you know what? I'm just gonna chill by the bomb. There's nothing for me to do in that room, so I'm gonna chill here next to the bomb.
That was weird. I'm not gonna lie. That was odd.
Again, no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like to me, if that was someone like even a Jeremy Renner, but at that point, I'm still going, where's Rebecca Ferguson?
Oh,
guys kind of like
in the Mission Impossible series.
Yeah. Well, this is what was going to bring me to my next point. I loved the stuff with Simon Pegg's character Benji kind of talking Grace through what to do and stuff, whilst Paul Clemente was kind of like kind of trying to keep him awake. But talk about underutilized. Paul Clemente was so.
She was definitely used more in this film than she was in Dead Reckoning.
Oh, I disagree. I
think she was used much better in this film.
No, she didn't get nearly as much. She got the eyebrow acting when they saved her for whatever reason, rather than just having her on the team.
She got more lines.
She kind of saved Benji. That's it.
That was a great scene as opposed to
I liked it, but
really boring fight.
She never got to kill Gabriel either. Like, and that was like her whole deal.
And I'm pretty sure there was a line where she went to get him, and Tom Cruise is like, no.
He'll have his time.
We'll get him another time.
Nah, he says that at the start, and then when they're running in the tunnels, and then at the end he just goes, fucking kill him, and she's like, okay, but then doesn't get to.
She shoots at the car the same way as the cop shot at the car. That's it.
The bit where like Simon Pegg's when Benji's getting like resuscitated, his lung punctured and whatever. I liked how he's like, whatever you do, just don't cut and then he passes out. I was like, if they stick with that, I'm going to be pissed. And then like she just fucking shouts at him, and it's like, oh, you do this, great, fantastic, lovely way to do that.
That's when the comedy worked. That's when it genuinely was funny. Whereas like the whole eyebrow thing didn't work. So yeah, again, the editing for this, when we're kind of going back and forward, I liked it because to me, I'm going, right, I've got stakes of Benji. I'm now kind of wondering if Tom Cruise is going to make it. Is he going to get it? Like, it worked. The tension built to the point where I'm like, oh my. And then you've also got the president has now decided, I'm not going to nuke. Did you like. Wait a minute, I'm going to put it. Were we a fan of them being like, we're going to have to nuke every city in the world, but so that we're playing fair, we're going to nuke one of our cities? I turned to Gary and I went, say their names. I want you to be like, yeah, Massachusetts, fuck you guys. Like, I wanted them to name what city was getting fucking bombed. I was just
so long, Kansas.
Let us know in the let us know in the comments, guys. Which city would you have bombed?
Cancelled. That's it. No more limits. We're not political. Yeah, to me, I was just sitting there going, I wonder if they've got the balls to say what when they've because they were like, we've taken population and economics and all this. And I'm like, just say a name. Just make one state outraged. Just do it. Absolute shite.
You cowards.
Probably would have been Florida.
If anything, Florida would survive.
No, do you know who it would have been with this current regime? Canada. It's to be
The
Canada.
51st state.
Canada would have got it. But yeah, like, did you enjoy that stuff with the presidential kind of like?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not gonna. Like, I'm going. You should have done that earlier, surely, no? Yeah, he's going to start bombing stuff. Just turn the bombs off.
I know, but their whole deal was, oh, but we're America and we could be attacked at any moment by anyone else or the AI or screw you. We're not giving up our guns. What? I mean nukes. I mean,
Yeah, true.
In any other film, the logic would be completely flawed. In this one, it's got to suspend its disbelief to add to the tension.
But you know the weird thing is like the tension was there. Like I was so tense watching this, and I didn't really know what was going to happen. We got the Nick Offerman stuff, which was great. And then as we say, like the fight, Tom Cruise is a maniac. Like
He's a fucking nightmare.
the two. The
We need to
stuff
talk about
they
that.
do on the planes.
Let's talk about the plane, please. Come on,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
Oh,
Honestly,
can we
see-
talk about the lead up to the plane, where it's like, you'll never
Okay, go
catch
for it,
me, Inspector Gadget, for I have a plane and a backup plane. You can't chase me. And he twirls his moustache as he creeps off into the background.
Into two
Wacky
of the
races.
loudest coloured planes, bright yellow,
Yeah.
bright red, so you can see exactly what's going on. Yeah, I love the stuff with the planes. I thought it was so well done, and it's like
It's great.
terrifying to think that he was actually doing that kind of stuff, man.
how much?
It's
I mean-
fucking mental.
I mean, how much of that has got to be all him? I mean, I know some of it's got
All
to
of
be.
it?
It's all him.
Mate,
Because
that
Paul,
was all
like,
real.
The stunt team see those stunts and go, nah. I'm no fucking do it. They don't bother with stunt doubles for
Have you never
Mr. Tom
seen-
Cruise.
I know,
Have you
I
never
know,
seen
I know he
the-
does. I know he does these films as an excuse to like put him as close to death as possible in these stunts. So, but,
Yeah.
but I'm like, there was multiple shots of these things, so I'm like wondering the logistics of what they did.
No,
with
I'm
it. But
pretty
I
sure-
know,
All
I
been
know.
planned out for years.
So I'm just.
Did you not see the video? I think it was Matt Damon? Matt Damon was getting interviewed, and he was talking about Tom Cruise, and he was like, "Oh, so Tom Cruise was talking to me about this stunt that he was going to do." And he was like, "Oh, so I was talking to my stunt guy, and I was telling him everything that I was going to do." And the stunt guy goes, "No, we can't do that." So I got another stunt guy, and I was telling him exactly, like he's like, "This is what I'm going to do," and that's it.
Did you see the thing where like Glenn Powell was like in an interview and he was like, "Oh, there's like rumors about him replacing Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible," and he was like denying them, being like, "Nah, my mum wouldn't have let me do anything that
Yeah.
dangerous." Like,
Exactly.
I'm not me.
No
like,
one else
a
is that much of a
45,
maniac.
50-year-old man. My mum's not letting me do it.
Yeah.
Point. Got a
Tom
point.
Cruise must have been a
God,
fucking
fucking
nightmare as a toddler, by the way. He must have been a fucking nightmare.
The cool thing is though, is that he's such a he seems like such a nice guy in Hollywood though, because anytime I hear people talking, like he was paying people through COVID, because that was the big thing about was it Dead Rec? Was it the first one or was it this
It
one?
was Dead Reckoning.
Either way, it was through the strikes. He paid everyone. He went off the nut when people weren't following regulations, because he knew if it got cancelled or it got delayed, people would maybe lose their jobs and stuff like that. Pom Clemente was talking about how she was looking to get her license for skydiving, and he paid for it all as a wrap gift for her, and he took her up in his plane and did all this kind of stuff. He just seems like a really like he's definitely got a screw loose, but he seems like a rather
Well, I
pleasant
mean,
man.
he's done fantastic things for the film industry.
Yeah.
Like he has single-handedly kept like the action genre afloat.
Yeah.
Like he's mental. I mean, like, but look at his career. Maybe there is something to Scientology. I don't know. He's just he's just. I think, you know, when if there's a divine creator, if God made the mold for Tom Cruise, he went, "Oh fuck, I've gone too far here. Let's break that mold. So we never get one again. We're never going to get another Tom Cruise. He's
Fair.
Yeah.
he's one in a
He
million."
also, he also invented the world tour. He is the person who started. You know how movies tour the world. That was him. He's the one that started doing that to essentially save Hollywood back in the day.
What,
It's
what
him.
film? Do you know?
I'm going to remind.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know what film it was?
I've no idea what film it was, but it's yeah.
Probably
we
one of the
could
Mission
Google
Impossibles,
that.
I would have imagined, because maybe 4, maybe Protocol, because that obviously
Maybe.
filmed in Dubai, so it would make sense that it was. But was that maybe too late?
I think
Who
it was
knows?
before. I think it's before that, but yeah.
So I'm going to.
He's been in a lot of blockbusters.
I'm going to round up the movie, but remind me to ask you the question that I was going to ask you. So yeah, the only thing that I was like, oh, I kind of wish he did that. Now, this is me just being greedy because I loved what he gave me. But the bit is Gabriel kind of goes, "You'll never get me now," blah, and then he gets his head split open and stuff like that. Before that happens, he's like, "I've got the only parachute," and then dies. Kind of wanted him to like not have the parachute and have to chase after Gabriel's headless body and grab him and get the parachute off him and get that. That would have been cool as fuck. But yeah, like again, the whole tension of he got it, did he get it in time? That Grace managed to yank that thing out, everybody, but it went to black, and at that point I'm like, oh,
There's a bit
what did we do it?
after all the carnage of the aeroplanes and all that, which was just a terrific scene. But he sits there. He's finally got both MacGuffins, and he's in the plane, and he notices the plane's catching fire. But I mean, like, he's still got time to slide a little USB into it. So he sits there and he's like looking at it. He goes, "No, I better do this while I'm jumping out of the plane instead," and then jumps out the plane and tries to slide. That's his fault. Instead of taking the 2 seconds.
Do any of you ever wish, like, I'd love to do a sketch where I play like a newscaster, and we play that part of like Mission Impossible where he makes the escape and he saves the world, and it's like, yeah, and Ethan Hunt saved the world. No more nukes have gone off. In other news, 2 multicoloured planes crashed and killed 4 families of 6. Because in my head, whenever I watch these movies, my brain goes, that plane's definitely killed somebody when it's crashed.
It was was it Rogue Nation or Ghost Protocol, the Burj Khalifa one, where I had that thought where it was like, breaking news, Ethan Hunt has saved the world. In other news, woman hits the plaza from the 100th floor of the Burj Khalifa.
Yeah, I was thinking those things on that.
Just
That'd be really
shit
good.
like that, man.
So yeah, at the end of the film, we get remind me of Ving Rhames' character's name.
Luther.
Luther's monologue where he talks about love and being there for one another
And not being
again,
beholden to destiny.
Yeah,
You ain't Destiny's bitch, Ethan Hunt.
Nothing's
and
written.
then we get
Nothing
and then we
ever
get
is
a
written.
moment-
Not
we
even
get
in
a-
books.
We get a full Mission Impossible moment where we see Tom Cruise walks into a square, and Hayley Atwell was there, and Paul Clementine was there, and luckily and happily Simon Pegg was there, and Michael Caine was there, and
They all
were
gave the
just,
nod.
smiling
Christian
and
Bale.
nodding, and
James
they were all-
Gandolfini, yeah.
They were all happy, and
Stupid.
were we surprised, sad, gutted, angry that Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt made it out of this film?
I don't
I
think.
thought on you go, Paul. On you go.
I was just gonna say I don't think he needs to necessarily die. It would have been nice to see him like wrap things up a bit more. Like, I think I've more than well enough paid my debt to society with all these impossible missions. I would quite like to just live with Hayley Atwell now. I'm gonna go ahead and retire, or something like that. Like I said, a nice ending would be nice. But of course, they love to leave open the possibility there might be another one. So, or die,
I completely
or
I see this
or
ending.
something.
Yeah,
I
I
kind of
see
felt the
this a bit
same.
differently.
I was like, I was thinking, oh, they're going to kill him. That'll be great. That'll show them. That'll show them.
be great.
I don't know who them are, but I was like, that'll show them when they're going to kill Tom Cruise, and it's going to be great. And when his parachute failed, I was like, oh no, you can't kill Ethan Hunt. You can't do this. I was glad he survived. I don't like how they wrapped up the film. I was hoping we saw him back with Julia. I know they resolved that whole thing in Fallout, but
Julia's happy. Julia's happy. Just let her
he's
be
nowhere, Craig. He's nowhere. As his missus like, and he's nowhere like, and I'm just not happy.
He's got Haley Atwell. Craig, what about you, mate?
And our fast hands.
So, I fucking hell, Paul. Oh, we are getting cancelled this week, lads. Anyway, right. So, I'm not political, my ass. We've had a few things now. So we, in terms of, as we know, of those who listened to the ranked episode, I wanted Tom Cruise to die. In this, I wanted Ethan Hunt to die in this film. I think
Definitely cancelled now, man. Fuck
four things. Way. I wanted Ethan Hunt to die. I thought going into the film, that's what.
Like Craig wanted Tom Cruise to die. He's got a petition going.
No.
Yeah. Let us know how you'd like this.
No. We don't want that in the comments.
No, we do not.
So, getting to my point. So, in terms of before the film going in, before I actually watched the film, I wanted Ethan Hunt to die. I thought it was the apt thing to do to finish this franchise. As the film went on, and as the film, how the plot developed, I thought, nah, actually, it's not been set up for him to die in this film. Also, do you want to kill Ethan Hunt? It's a whole thing about Tom Cruise and the stunts. Would it be okay to show him essentially fail a stunt and the character dies? Would that work thematically? Nah. So fair enough. And I actually saw the ending differently to everyone so far. Now, the ending for me is that they're going to carry on because that's what they do. That's what the IMF are there. They're there. They're there to save the day. So there is no ending because they carry on. That's the whole point of this. That's the whole point of Ethan Hunt. He's not going to stop. He's never going to stop. This is what he is. This is who he is. And that's why I liked the ending because they're there. And again, that was the whole point of the film. You know the IMF are there. And that they're there to save the day, and you're going to be okay because the IMF, Ethan Hunt, his team are there. So it's just like, yeah, we're on to the next mission.
Secret Agent Jesus.
So are you saying it's like a subtle reference to Disney?
What are you talking about?
Keeping actors till they're 90.
Yeah, it's very much Deadpool and Wolverine, where he's
It's
like,
not-
in his
it's
face
not-
going, "We're gonna keep you till you're 90."
Are we going to get another film where we get a parallel dimension Ethan Hunt and we dig up normal Ethan Hunt's body?
Lads, if you
It's just
think
start swagging
that
it
the
around.
conversation, if you guys think the conversation is the film production company being like, "We're going to keep you till you're 90," rather than Tom Cruise going, "I'm doing these films until I'm 90,"
no,
you're
definitely.
absolutely off your nut. Because
So-
he's the one that's choosing this.
My opinion will change if they do ever come back, but I still maintain they're not going to do another film. I think this is it, and if that is the case, then that is a very apt ending because it's like, as I said, they're there to save the day,
I have
and we
one
know they're still going.
I have one caveat to that. I actually agree with what you're saying there, Craig. I like that idea where it's like, oh, he's not dead, he's still here. We're probably not going to get any more movies or whatever. I don't think we'll get more movies just because of the fact of how much these movies are costing. This one was like 300-400 million. Again, that's because of reshoots and because of the strikes and whatever. But if you're going down the route that you're saying, Craig, where the team are always here, this movie should have ended either during the movie or as an after credit scene with "Good evening, Mr. Hunt. Your mission, should you choose to accept it." And then into the theme music. That would have been cool.
Could have done that,
But
yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's the same effect, but yeah, cool. I like
That is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Whoa,
Let us know in the
whoa,
comment section.
whoa.
Whoa.
You had a
Whoa,
question to
whoa,
ask
whoa.
us.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
a question.
Oh,
I got a
Paul, you
question.
do your question, and then I'll do my question.
Okay.
And ratings.
So,
Yes, we'll do ratings as well.
the Entity. Do you guys think the film would be better if the Entity is, as it is, this amorphous, dotty voice that we see, or if when he's in that chamber, instead of the amorphous, dotty head, we see the spotty but shiny head of Dwayne Johnson.
What?
Dwayne Johnson. Being the
Why
Exorcist.
would it be The Rock?
Strangest bit you've done.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Why The Rock?
Would the film be better? Because
No.
I want the people
No,
want to
wait.
know.
But why The Rock?
Why not
Why
The
The
Rock?
Rock?
Oh, because
What?
Ethan Hunt's caught between a rock and a hard place.
There you go.
He's absolutely saved your bit there. He saved your bit there. Boone coming in the last minute. No, so my question.
They
my
worked out
question isn't even-
beforehand.
My question wasn't even about Mission Impossible. It was more, do we ever see Tom Cruise settling down and doing like not
Clint
maybe not
Eastwood stuff.
thespian roles, but like more grounded,
No.
not throwing himself
Like-
off buildings?
You mean like back when he was in his 20s? And 30s?
Yeah,
No. The man has a death wish.
yeah, that's true.
He's like I'm can't remember if there was this actual thing that happened or if I'm just imagining it, but I think he was asked about directing. He was like, no, I'm going to keep doing this till I die. Like
man.
Yeah,
I'd expect him to
he
go
wants
into
to keep
directing,
going,
but
yeah.
like yeah, he's gonna just keep going. I think
Yeah,
like the dude is an adrenaline junkie, and
He's
or
gonna
he
do
could
another.
be the most
He's,
famous stunt coordinator of all time.
he's gonna do another cocktail. I'm telling you, another cocktail.
God, here would not surprise
I
me.
like Cocktail.
Right.
great.
I like Cocktail.
Let's get to ratings then. Who wants to start us off with a number? Where do we start the bidding?
I'll go.
Go on.
It for me, I would say it is a between like 7.5 and 8 out of 10.
Fair.
Nice.
The first hour did drag. There's a lot of exposition. There, I think, as a second half to a duo film, yeah, it was definitely better. But there was a lot of copy and pasting from Fallout in terms of like beat structure and like
Even
you
the
know,
plane stuff was
even-
like
yeah, even
the
the planes.
helicopter, helicopter, plane to
it
plane.
was
Yeah.
very much the same. Get the MacGuffin at the last minute, do the thing. I know that's the ethos of Mission Impossible, but it was very, very copy paste. Bar that, I think if this is the final Ethan Hunt Mission Impossible, it was a great send off.
Nice. Paul.
I'm adjusting my rating system a bit here, just as I think about this, because I want to give it a certain score, and then I'm like, if I'm giving it that score, I gave this other thing a certain score, and that's just not going to match because I preferred this to the other thing. So, I obviously gave Sinners an 8. I stand by that. I'm going to give this film a 7. Maybe a 7.5. No, a 7. I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to retroactively change my Last of Us review to a 6.
Okay.
So I've also made you happy and pissed you off in the one go. There you go. Hey.
Craig, what about you, mate?
Polly Smack special there. So I am going to agree with Joseph. Everything that Joseph said, I agree with. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's fantastic. It's a great send off to the character. Mainly giving it that extra 0.5 point, mainly for the plane scene, which I thought, like, I was literally sitting like this. Sorry for the listeners. I was sitting with my hands like almost covering my eyes most of the time, going, "Tom Cruise is a fucking maniac. What the hell are you doing?" This is. I just kept saying, "This is real. He's fucking doing this." Yeah. So because of that, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was great fun, especially for the stunts, and that's what this is for. This is what these films are for, and they're entertaining. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
Nice. So I said earlier the first hour or so was a 4 out of 10. Second hour, or the second 2 hours, the next 2 hours, for me are a 9.5 out of 10. So I'm getting to the point of like a 7.5. I think overall it's 7.5, maybe push to an 8 if I rewatch it again. The second half of the film is so many thrills, a lot of fun stuff. If you embrace how dumb it is, you have such a laugh. It's see this movie on the biggest screen possible, get a big old fucking bag of popcorn, stuff your face, and enjoy the second half of this movie because it's so fucking good. I still would love to see maybe a fan supercut of the best of Dead Reckoning and the second half of Final Reckoning. I think you would have like a fucking 10 out of 10 action movie between those two. But yeah, thoroughly recommend it. Get to the cinema, go see this before it leaves. And as I say, if you can. I know, Craig, you watched it in IMAX. Did you two boys see it in IMAX? No?
No, we didn't.
No, just normal.
Speaking. Fair enough. Well, as I say, get to the cinema, and if you can get to an IMAX, get to an IMAX. But that is our review of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. If you've seen the movie, let us know in the comment section what you thought of the film. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you feel as if we should address? And if you put it in the comment section, we will address it in there. Let us know what you thought. Let us know your scores. Do you think we will get another one? Do you think that is Mission Impossible over? Yes, Craig?
Sorry to interrupt, Andrew. I just
okay.
wanted to ask one quick question as the host of With Mates Ranked. Where would we have ranked this film in our lists?
Oh, my list changed. So I would have I would have Ghost Protocol above Dead Reckoning. I would probably have this. I think I would do Fallout, Rogue Nation, this, Ghost Protocol, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Mission Impossible 3, 1, 2.
I would put
So that's
this
what
second or third. Third, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
third for me.
I think I'd put it fourth.
It'd be
I think
higher
it's
up. It would be higher
I think
up, yeah.
I think I slotted it in fourth.
The tough thing for me is I'm going like the first part is so fucking bad, but the second part is so fucking good. It's so hard to judge because like I think Ghost Protocol from start to finish is a more level movie, whereas this kind of starts down here and then obviously goes up. But I think I would have this third as well.
Mm-hmm. It's in no way as good as 2, but like I would say that it's definitely high on the list easily.
Go watch.
2's my number 1 too.
Our Go watch our Mission Impossible review to watch how frustrated and agitated I can't. See if we started doing this video podcast. I can't forgive myself for how fucking angry I get on this, and I apologise for it. And it's done with passion and love, but I get so irate at some of these fucking opinions. And Paul wasn't even on the fucking podcast. That tells you everything you need to know.
You need to understand that half of the people in this call right now think Mission Impossible 2 is the best one.
Yep. And that's what matters, folks. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Lara!
Right, that is
The
all.
majority always.
Get in here, Lara!
That is all for us. That's how we've got a fucked up Star Wars list. That is all for this week. We will be back very soon with another movie review. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for the catch up every week. We will be having an Andor review very, very soon. This month in June, we have 5 major movies getting released, so we will have some sort of review across our podcast channel. Whether that be on the catch up or whether it'll have a podcast by itself. The TV shows have kind of quietened down a wee bit, so we will be predominantly doing movie reviews for the next month or two. Lots of stuff to come. Lots and lots of stuff to come. Our second half of the movie draft, fantasy movie draft, will be coming very, very soon as well. But what we need from you, lovely lot, is hit that subscribe button. We are currently at 30 subscribers as far as I'm aware. Get us to 50. That's 20 people. We just need 20 people to hit that subscribe button. And as soon as those 20 people hit the subscribe button, I'll be asking for another 50. And after that, I'll be asking for another 100. And then another 1,000. We're going to build this. We have got so much coming. We love you. We very much appreciate you for watching. Thank you for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Latest on the main J.
I'll get you, Gadget!